look at Tom Brady and I say it's not that big of a deal that he decided on a Friday.
Keep that graphic up, guys.
To go to his owner's wedding and then join the team on a late Saturday in Pittsburgh.
What do you have to say about the graphic we're showing, though, Key? Look, through 6 games as a starting quarterback, both Brady and Rodgers have the worst won-loss record, points per game, and total QBR of their careers.
That's okay. It's 6 games out of however many hundreds they've played.
And that's true, but both of them to start the season are, look at that, they rank in the bottom half of the league, except Brady QBR is right in the middle. But otherwise, both of them are in the bottom half of the league in all the
statistical categories. That's true, but I'm not going to all of a sudden attribute to him not being there as a reason that his numbers are like that. You know how many players miss meetings because they have to go do things? How many players miss walkthroughs because they have things to do? It doesn't factor in. I mean, people are looking at it and saying, well, the reason Tom Brady is playing like this is because he went to a wedding. No, they're just not good right now.
Yeah.
They're not good right now. Guys, I'm looking at guys running routes. Guy throws a guy a screen and pops off his hands in the air. Guess what? That incompletion he gets charged for. I'm looking at another route that should have been a dig. Looked like the guy was running the skinny post. Brady was throwing an in cut. And so, for whatever reason, they're not on the same page.
Maybe because he's not at practice.
Oh, God, stop.
I'm not a subscriber to Rex Ryan saying that he's not all in. I mean, I think Tom Brady is all in. I think he's dealing with some other things as well.
I agree.
Right? But it's not a good look currently the way things are stacking up. But if the question is, who do I have more faith in, it's Tom Brady. First off, because of the division.
You mean between Brady and Rodgers?
Between Brady and Rodgers, the division here, right? I think Minnesota's going to win the NFC North, right? I think it's going to be a challenge for the Packers just because of their receivers coming along. And I also say, because Tom Brady has shown me who he is and the way he leads. You may not like it. I may not be a big subscriber to him yelling at people considering he did miss that day of practice. But there's something about Aaron Rodgers being a little bit more passive-aggressive in that approach that I do not like as it relates to leadership style.
Well, their results throughout their careers, Brady gets more out of a team. He was with Belichick for many years, and then he went to a great Bucs team. But still,
Max, also, you know what I'm talking about. Like the kind of, like if Key don't like something about somebody, he'll say it to your face. There's other styles where it's like, yeah, a little bit passive-aggressive, or I say things, and it's a little bit of a slight, a little bit of a backhand.
Well, everybody's different, though.
I know everybody's different. That's what I'm saying. I like Tom Brady style more than I like Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so Jay is coming out with it. Between Brady and Rodgers, he has more faith that Brady will get it done. He'll get the thing turned around. By the way, Jay, so do I. I think Rodgers will also, but if you're asking me to rank who I have more faith in, it's the guy with the 7 rings. Who do you have more faith in, Key, to turn it around if it's a competition between Brady and Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers, more faith that he'll turn it around. Tom Brady still got some stuff. That ain't going nowhere no time soon.
You mean stuff that he's dealing with?
He's still got some stuff that he's got to.
No one feels bad for Brady. I feel bad for Brady. I feel bad for him right now.
That's okay.
He's going through it in life right now.
I'm not here again, Max. I get it. I don't care about that part of it.
Yep.
I just know he's going through some stuff. And that stuff isn't going anywhere. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, they can dummy down that offense, help the coach, who's probably got a menu this big with a bunch of unnecessary plays on it that he never gets to, simplify things so Aaron Rodgers is not thinking, the young nucleus of receivers are not thinking, the young backs are not thinking, the offensive line understands their protections without a bunch of just stuff. That's why I think he'll get it turned around before Brady.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.